Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Welcome to another session, another naked wall session. But we working on that. You can't see off camera that I got all kinds of stuff laying around that I'm gonna change the atmosphere of this naked wall soon enough. So just continue rocking with your boy and stay tuned for more cool stuff. Like the cool stuff I'm gonna do today. But before I do the cool stuff I'm gonna do today, I want all of y'all to continue. I say continue because we're on that upward climb. Y'all continue to do what y'all always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out like this right here, you get first crack at it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling. That's a creative term. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page. All right. Like I normally say when I'm talking about Black Panther, there are a lot of things going on in Wakanda Forever that will negate or take away from canon. But I've been kicking around a lot of thoughts in my head, still not fooling with it, you know what I'm saying? Because the more I think about it, it's like Disney. And I think to myself, man, Disney is so demonic. They take everything and just pervert it and bastardize it and make it into whatever they want it to be because they just like, they are evil and want to own the earth. T'Challa's been all over the place. And one of the things I know people have said that they are expressing disappointment about not being able to see the wedding of T'Challa and Aurora. We're not going to get to see any of that fanfare. We're not going to get to see any of that magic. In fact, we're not even going to get to see T'Challa and Aurora, at least in this current incarnation of the Black Panther, the direction that we're moving in. We're probably more likely to see a wedding between Shuri and Aurora before we see a wedding between T'Challa and Aurora, which I feel like would just, I don't know. I ain't even gonna get all off into that. My point being that before we had this moment right here in comics, we had this comic right here. That right there. This backup story in Marvel Team Up 100 features Storm and the Black Panther in a story told by Chris Claremont and illustrated by John Byrne. Bruh. They were the storytellers of the 80s. I mean, you couldn't tell anybody anything about Claremont and Byrne. They were killing the game in the 80s. 100% killing the game in the 80s. Now, when we come to this story, it's Aurora Monroe. She just rolling through the city, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody's busting caps at her. Why? Strangely enough, it ain't enough to take Storm down. However, Storm is really able to take this cat down fairly easily. How did Storm get from street level in civilian clothes to on this rooftop in her outfit? You'll get nothing from me, Kafir. Kafir. Anybody who knows Kafir or Kafir, depending on how you pronounce it, is a derogatory term in South Africa for Black people. It's like the South African equivalent of the N-word. He gonna tell her something. And he tells her that he was hired by Andreas de Ruyter. That's a name Storm ain't heard since she was a wee lass on the steps of traversing Egypt, what it says Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. She was on her little vision quest. And while she was on her vision quest, she heard gunshots and men fighting. Look who's fighting. It's a young black man. He can't be much older than me, being attacked by a gang of whites. Okay. So she swings in action, even though at that time she was like a pickpocket and a wannabe goddess. She decided she was going to swing into action and get some help. So young Aurora swoops in for the first time, throws up a little hurricane force blast of air to separate everybody. Asks if he speaks English and if he's all right. He's fine. And this big giant fella, he obviously look how he's drawn. That's that John Byrne artwork. He's drawn to look like a big hulking cat. So here he goes. De Ruyter the Bull. So basically, these guys were trying to kidnap T'Challa and take him back to Pretoria. Interesting note to think about here. As an adult, T'Challa infiltrated South Africa to go and rescue who was at the time his mother, but then got retconned to be his stepmother. Interesting, huh? And then we see that fella, I believe, in Panther's Quest, or someone like him in Panther's Quest. A angry, relentlessly, bloodily violent South African man. Go figure. And just walks in and kapow, socks T'Challa. But T'Challa's like, boy, it's going to take more than that to put me down. Clearly. But he's got a pistol now. And like always, everybody wants to get at Wakanda because they want the divide reign. He draws down on T'Challa thinking, oh, that chick only has wind powers. Wind can't do anything to me right now. Nope. Wind ain't the only power she had. Surprise! And off they go. And so that's the story. She remembers that name from back in the day when they were kids. So she's going to the Wakanda embassy. And looky there. He thought he recognized her voice. So, oh, she sounds the same way she did as a teenager? Interesting. I don't think I sound the same way I sounded as a teenager. Do I? Y'all let me know. Some of y'all who've known me since I was a teenager, and I know a few of y'all rock with me, let me know if I still sound like I did when I was a teenager. Not a social call, because even at that moment, T'Challa was already in Mac mode. Look at him. It's good to see you. You look so beautiful. Oh, it's been so long. As you do, my gawky, scrawny, flute-playing warrior who has become a true prince. No, she brings up the name Andreas de Ruyter, and T'Challa remembers Andreas de Ruyter. Good art by John Byrne, by the way. I like the way that John Byrne depicts Black people. Very respectful, very researched, and that was like he looks very 80s in that picture. And so they hired a team to kill them. So T'Challa's going to use his Panther computer. I call it Panther computer because that's what it reminds me of the Bat computer. And so after using the Bat computer, off they go. Look, that almost looks like a only only my old schoolers will get that reference. That's that Adam West Batman thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop doing that. And so they get into this building. He moves in stealthily, as he's supposed to. By the way, after having a conversation yesterday with David Banner, I guess he thought he was enlightening me to the fact that a Black Panther isn't really a panther at all, but just a very melanated leopard. Yeah, I knew that, David Banner, but thanks for being the smart, informed guy that you are. More to come on David Banner in a little while because we're going to have an interview I did with him up later this week, but more on that as that story develops. Anywho, we see Black Panther doing Black Panther-like things, like sneaking up on incompetent guards. And in comes Aurora. And they're both there together, supposedly ducking the cameras and getting to where they need to get to. Is it a trap? Of course it's a trap. You're superheroes and this is a comic book. It can't be anything but a trap. And there Storm flexes her lock-picking skills back in her thieving days. Why does the Black woman have to be a thief? I don't know. It works. It is what it is. And in they come, and I see a big gauntleted hand, which means they're going to be fighting something mechanical in nature. Oh my. When I've smashed you and your Kaffir mate to Kaffir. There we go again. Lightning against a mechanical opponent. Yeah, you would have to think it would be insulated. And she gets the crap smacked out of her. But she's pretty resilient because, as we saw earlier, she got grazed by a bullet and she was already ready to fight. But seeing things like that, it tells me that mutants are of a hardier breed of human being than just the average human being, as evidenced by Aurora with no visible invulnerability powers or any kind of physical resistance to attacks of a physical nature. Just tells me mutants are a little hardier than the average human being. There goes T'Challa in a impossibly strange kick to pull off. But I mean, it looks good because that's what John Byrne does. He makes things look good physically. And the robot's swinging and swinging and swinging, and nothing's happening. Me, I would have went a different route. If I was Storm, I would have tried to freeze the robot, like flash froze it, and then let T'Challa do something like kick it. But that's just me. Oh, training in the danger room enabled her to roll with the punch. Okay, that's boxing. That's totally possible to roll with a punch. Yeah. But just enough to survive. Yeah, I would imagine so. You getting hit by a bulldozer, basically. I don't know if I'd be able to roll with a bulldozer's punch. So I'm going to stick to my mutants are a little more resilient than humans theory. So her lightning can't hurt the robot, but it can't hurt the floor beneath the robot. Now, unless that robot has some kind of jetpack or something, and down to the basement they go. Is that DeRuiter the bull? Wow, he has let himself slide, hasn't he? Psychic link with the robot. Interesting. motivated by hatred. As we've all been told, hate begets hate. The hate you give little infants fucks everyone. Thug life. He ain't worth the hate or the pity. And he used his Avengers priority to call the police and keep Aurora from getting involved. It's good to see you again. It's strange, but suddenly I find myself thinking of what was and what might have been. And with that, they part company. Now you tell me that wouldn't be an interesting, even if it ended like that, with T'Challa and Storm not linking up right away or not linking up at all. At least we see Storm and T'Challa interacting with one another and having history with one another. But Disney and Marvel, well, Disney, I'll say, doesn't want you to see that. That isn't Disney's agenda. Disney's agenda is to perpetuate diversity in the form of Black girl magic, Black woman power. Quiet as kept, the first Black Panther movie was rife with Black woman power. So this is not something new. Why are we acting like Black woman magic and Black woman power is something new? What's new, we all know what's new, the absence of. And so because of that absence, like we've been saying, and like we continue to say, boycott, 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 and boycott. So with that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it was edutaining. I hope you learned something from this video that you didn't know before seeing it. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.